Hello guys, welcome back to the next one. In this lecture, we will see how do we optimize our test, the login test that we were working on. So let me just quickly bring up the PyCharm and let me try to explain you. So we had the login test for valid login. We were logging into the application and then we were putting this kind of thing. We were trying to find the user icon and then we were verifying if the icon is none. Sorry, if the icon is not none, then the login is successful. If it's none, then we say login failed, something like that. But this doesn't look good, right? We want to put this also somewhere in the library, somewhere in the page class, so our test doesn't look this bad. So what we can do here is we can come back to our page class. This is the login page class, and let me try to maximize these guys and try to create a method. So what do we want to create? We want to create a method which says verify successful login, something like that, right? So let's name something, verify login successful, maybe login success or full, anything. What it should do, it should verify that the login is successful. And how do we verify if the login is successful? We verify if this element is present. So first of all, let's do this. Let's just copy this guy from here and let's put it here, and we will then optimize it. Now it's there, but do we really want to use these things, driver.find element and all these things here? No, a big no. How do we do that? We go to our Selenium driver, we check do we have a utility method, and we have get element, we have element click, we have send keys, and there we go. We have a method which says is element present. We're gonna simply use this method. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna call this guy. I'm gonna capture this in a boolean because I think it should return a boolean. Yes, it does return a boolean, either true or false. So I'm gonna capture this in a boolean. I will say element present, and this is the name of the boolean, or maybe I'll just say result just to keep it simple. And I will say here self dot is element present. Now it takes a locator and a locator type. The locator we have is simply this. We can simply copy this guy up here, oops, in the double quotes for sure, and the locator type is XPath. Simply done. So what do? We call our utility method that if the element is present or not, and we can just simply return the result. So this guy is going to find out if the element is present. It's going to get the value either true or false, and then it's going to just return the value if it's true or false. Very simple, right? Let's go to our test. Let's get rid of all of these things. I'm just gonna remove everything. And now how do we verify that thing? We can just simply put some assert statements, assert, and then we can capture the result first. So let me just capture the result. I'm just gonna call a result here, and I'm gonna say lp dot verify login successful. It's gonna give me a boolean in the result variable, and then I can simply say assert result equals to true. So I'm expecting that it should be true. That's why I'm asserting the result to be true. And then finally I'm quitting the browser. So let me just, because I don't want to keep it open. So now let's take a look at the test case. This is the real test right now, right? That's awesome. That's really awesome. So now let me just try to run this guy and try to show you. And you know what, we can just now remove this also. This shows that it's not used. So let's remove the by statement, and that's it. Our code is getting shorter and shorter and it'll get much shorter. So right now just take a look at it. Let me just try to bring up the terminal, and I think I should first export the Python path, and let me see if I have the command in the history. Doesn't look like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna run the command py.test and -s-v, and I'm gonna go to test home login test.py. Let's execute this command. The browser is gonna come up and it's gonna try to log in. the login should be successful, and quit the browser, and it's done. And we say that the assert is successful and the test is successful, everything is clear. We can see that the test was successful, it passed, right? It was successful, and that's what we were trying to make sure. So what we did just now is we wrote one more utility method to verify if the login is successful. So what I was trying to show here is that anything that we want to do on the login page, we can simply write a method in the login page class. We don't need to write anything on the login test. We can simply do it here. The next thing we will do in the next class is we will add one more test case to verify that the login fails when we actually provide invalid credentials, right? So few things we will do for that, and let's do a little bit of prep work. First thing I want to do here is I want to write a method to verify if the login fails. So that's going to be something like def verify login and maybe failed, something like that. I'm not going to do anything right now, I will tell you in the next class, but we will do something like we will verify if the error message is present, right? So instead of this guy, we just need to verify if the error message is present. That's pretty much it. Other than that, we need to write a login method. We are currently using this. So instead of, because right now we are taking email and password as the mandatory values. For invalid login, we might have to just say put both of them empty and try to log in and see what happens. There could be many scenarios, so we will do a little bit of modification in this method as well. So for now, just download these ones, practice, and maybe try to implement the verify login failed, and in the next class see how it goes. Alrighty, I will see you in the next lectures, and thanks for ending this one.